Good evening. Welcome to the Rivermead Leisure Complex.
Good boy. Well
where we are here for NBL Division 1 action. It's the Reading Rockets playing host to the Oakland Wolves. I'm joined by Matt Johnson.
And your son.
And my son.
Yeah. How are you, mate? How are you? All right. There is 8 minutes 20 to go before you are going to see some, winter warmer basketball, I think we're going to say. Oakland's Wolves in the building. Nice little crowd building up. Nice little queue coming in the door.
And it's cold out. It's cold
out, but it's warm inside. There's a song about that.
Yes.
And Mark, it's as ever always great to be sat courtside next to you.
Yeah, well,
sharing the view of the referees.
I'm very pleased to be back. I've just watched Sam Tolawase nearly hit his face on the rim, and that made me excited.
Yeah, I know you like that. You nearly broke. You nearly give me a bruise with that one.
I was very pleased now again to be back from the family having bouts of COVID.
You did lay that on thick.
We did, as we managed to get it all consecutively, one after the other, after the other, after the other.
Yep.
So that was fun to be in the Hayward household during that. But other than that, I'm just delighted to be back.
Yeah, and listen, it's always like to be at the Mead as well, and we joke about it, don't we? And the environment here is getting better and better now. I think we'll talk about a couple of the players that are sadly not being able to play today, but there's a certain excitement whenever you turn up at a game now, and there's lots of media buzzing around, and there's lots of people trying to, do stuff around the game and everything else. And how are you feeling about just generally being around the live games now?
Yeah, we're just getting it better and better, I think, here at Reading for sure. And I know some other teams are really kicking in.
Yeah.
Getting kind of mid-season flow of it all. So, I think it's just been really, really great to be back here and everyone being here unrestricted so far, and hopefully long may it stay that way.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was down at Worthing and having live replay video boards going on and all sorts of stuff now in Div 1. It's fantastic. And we've got we're back. We've got Bailey Tustin now back and doing his thing, getting the crowd warm and getting their hands clapping as the players are going to be coming out soon as well. A couple of guys, Mark, that just to talk about from the Rockets that won't be making an appearance before we get all excited. So AJ Bassey is just nurturing a little bit of as you can hear in the background. That's actually, let's talk about that's much more important, isn't it? My sister Samantha, I won't tell you she's 50 because she said don't mention it.
Don't mention
so
that.
I haven't mentioned that. But she's just been given a little bit of a thank you for all the work she's done in the background, for everything that she does, for all the teams and all the admin and all the other stuff that you will have no idea about, if I'm honest with you.
When I coached here, Sam made it very clear how much she was doing in the background, so I'm fully aware of.
Oh, so you are aware?
Yeah, because
okay.
if I wasn't, I'd be in trouble. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Love that, though. Love that. Happy 50th, Sam, when you're hearing that. And yeah, a couple of things for me. So AJ Bassey is back in Canada at the moment, just getting some really top-level care on that Achilles. Had a scan over, had MRI, and it's not too serious, which we're all really pleased with. And we just wish him well, and we're looking forward to getting him back as soon as we can. And then Jazz Baines is also just nursing a slight back injury. So that's something for him that he will be... he's just going to be taking it easy, I think, and just trying to get himself back and healthy. And as we are there, look at that. Happy 50th birthday, Samantha.
It's hard to keep that hidden when it's on an enormous banner.
Yeah.
Not keeping that secret.
That's my boy there holding the cake. That's a big job to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Well, that's cracking stuff.
Fantastic. Hey, do we bring birthdays to you here as well at the Rockets?
Hey,
that's a new thing, right?
We can do it all.
That's doing it all.
For $99.99, we will host your birthday.
Yeah, exactly. I think you might have just undersold that, but
possibly. I don't really know what the economics of birthday parties are these days. As our stream team crew sprint back into position and headsets go on and cameras get turned around. As we just see the Oakland Wolves hitting the floor, you may well hear that in the background. Maybe worth just whizzing through their roster just a little bit while they sort of come out onto the floor.
Yeah. Coach Lee Ryan's there as well. Had a good chat with him before the game, Mark.
Yeah, so you guys catch up. That was good.
Yeah.
according to my programme, and I'll update this as we go, but let's steer clear of the numbers and we'll just stick to the names for now. So Talas Zacharias, Vase Carney, Seth Wiley, Kane Daly, Ollie Wright, Alfredo Caruso, Mike New Jr., Jonathan James, Freddie Hiscock and Jordan Jackson, and new boy Tola Akiki also in the lineup for the Oakland Wolves.
Yep. And that got straight up on the live stream as you did it, delivered it perfectly, by the way.
Well, it's almost like we know what we're doing these days.
Yeah, be careful, be careful.
For the Reading Rockets, as they come out onto the floor, it's number 4, Reece Pinnock, Tyler Cartano, who is back from injury, wears 5.
Good to see him back.
No, number 6, AJ Bassi, as Matt stated, he's back in Canada getting treatment. Reading boy, number 7, Lewis Champion. Ben Dixon wears 8. Sam Tolawezi in 9. Ronnie Agekwe wears 10. Isaac Round in 11. KV Live wears 12. Big man Mishak Lufiles in 13. Academy Junior Ashley Kitchen wears 14, and 15 would be Jazz Baines, but as Matt says, he is also nursing a bit of a back injury.
There we go. And we're in the stadium now, and Isaac Round's coming out, and his brother, I think Jacob, is actually here on camera as well. So JLR Photography, I think he is. He's definitely worth a follow on Instagram. Has some amazing footage as well. So keep an eye on that. And other stuff to keep an eye on. There's no assistant coach for Oakland's Wolves. Ibrahim is Gariba, who, those of you that know NBL well, in fact BBL, Ibrahim has been one heck of a baller from back in the day.
London
Capitals.
London
Capitals,
yeah. And could absolutely fly.
Yeah, absolutely. And played in the BBL as well. Like went up to the Capitals team into the BBL. So Ibrahim's missing today, but who isn't missing is assistant coach Dan Lloyd as well. So Dan, the two Dan squared. I'm sure
that has been overdone.
Neither of them are going to like
it's
that.
It's been overdone as well.
I know. But yes, really good vibe. And this is the games, and Mark, I think we're saying Oakland's 1-8 at the moment in competition.
Yes.
But since then, I've had, they're adding to their roster what seems like weekly. So with the new guy, so Toller's just joined them, and I spoke to Coach before. He's excited about Toller coming in from Surrey, Worcester, BBL. Mike New Jr., that's definitely worth a conversation. Anyone that knows British basketball from the BBL, NBL, Academy, Milton Keynes, anywhere. Mike New Sr., I think that's probably the respectful way to put it, had an unbelievable career as well as a player. And forgive me, I wouldn't know all his trophies, but he's definitely on a winning team. Spent a lot of time with Vince McCauley, who's now, of course, running things at the London Lions, and you are a London's fanboy, Mark. So that's something to talk about. But Mike New Jr. was tearing up the ABL as a young man, and then I believe went off to Worcester University, and he's back now and very local to him as well. So he's been getting some really, really good numbers and keeping his team in it. And Jonathan James joins them as well from, again, ex-Lions. So some real talent there, some young British talent coming in. And Jordan Jackson, who's their big number 23 with the brightest coloured shoes I think I've seen in a while from the back. Not that is anything new nowadays. Whatever happened to black and white, honestly?
I mean, I had all black when I was playing, all black.
And you were rebellious, right?
I was a little bit. So yes, they've got plenty of firepower, Oaklands. Still struggling to put it together a little bit this season. But as you kind of put down in the pre-game notes, Lee Ryan's trying to build this under 23 British, or predominantly British team and culture. Down at Oaklands, and as I say, Jonathan James is averaging 19 a game, Jordan Jackson's averaging 14 a game, and Mike New Jr. also averaging 14 a game. So they've got, like I said, they've got plenty of ways to score, plenty of firepower up front. It's just, can they handle the size and discipline of Reading? And that's sort of the one that is yet to be seen.
Yeah, and I'm going to just jump on. I'm going to jump on the stream as well. So if anyone is out there that's got anything they want to ask or anything they want us to look at or any comments that you want to make, that of course within the spirit of the game, as we like to say nowadays. But yeah, jump in. Let's talk about some stuff. We can look at what the coaches are doing. Really nice crowd already, and a big queue coming in. I know you love this, Mark.
I do.
Something that we've been building to as well. And as the facilities in Reading change quite drastically over the next 2 to 3 years, I'm very hopeful that we're going to see even bigger crowds and warmer buildings, shall we say?
Yeah, and different seating, perhaps. Who knows?
Who knows, eh?
That's great. Yeah, so please do join us. There's 38 of us watching at the minute, and those are rookie numbers. So let's get those up a little bit. Make sure we're sharing that on the live stream. And share that on social so we know people are joining us. Just having a look now. Just
Reece Pinnock.
Have a look.
Is he the best player in the last few weeks, Mark? Reece Pinnock?
Much improved, hasn't he? Been great. It is Pinnock and Cartano champion, and Tolawese and Mishak Lufar who start for Reading. For Oaklands is Zacharias.
Yep. Now
Wiley, Mike New Jr., Jonathan James, and Jordan Jackson.
Yep. The job bit going to be noisy in here as well. When we get this crowd going, Bailey's here, and there we go from the tip straight away. And Tolawese is looking for that immediate post up against Talas. First possession for Rockets ends up with a fall away, and straight from injury, Cartano with that little mid-range step back.
Interesting to see what the teams are doing early. Oakland's going man, and there's a big leak out here, and it's tipped away, and it will stay with the Rockets.
Right off the bat, you've got Krimesh Patel, who's coming out saying, what coach has surprised you in the NBL and why? Has. And I'm gonna give you one. I'm gonna give you Will Maynard, and why? Simply.
And it's Pinnock down the middle.
Yeah, simply because I think he's taken over that Loughborough team, and they have not missed a beat as well. So undermanned, I think, Loughborough. So Krimesh, I'm not saying that just because of your history as a Loughborough and Charnwood alum, but I am saying that because I think he's done a really good job.
This is Pinnock looking for the Tolawese post-up. Won't get it. It's champion through Cartano as Lufar gets a good position inside.
Yeah, that's a great pass out.
Cut from champion.
Mark, I'm going to say, I think we're going to see this year, this year, listen to me, I mean, the back end of this season, I think we're going to see more offense going through Cartano, Lufar and Tolawese. Not just because we've got backcourt that are out at the moment in AJ, but I just think that as coaches had a really good look, Pinnock strokes the three. Oh, long two.
Yeah, he's a foot inside there.
Oh, was he?
Yep.
I missed it because of the advertising board. SFL, Pure Gym and Bar and Block got in my way. There's a plug.
This is Oakland's going the other way. This is Mike New Jr.
Yeah.
Wearing 15. He'll
Jackson made that one in the warm-up. Comes out, and of course Pinnock gets another rebound as he seems to get hundreds inside. So there's that move. Oh, Mishak, what a move against Jordan Jackson. I was going to say to you, Mark, actually, I was really looking forward to seeing Jordan Jackson. Oh, Lufar just missed him as Toller flew to the bucket. Well, that says that was Caruso. It's my fault. Oh, 18, sorry, that number looks different.
There's a
travel.
A travel call.
Here it is, we've got the replay.
Unexpected. This is Jonathan James, and this is Mike New Jr. against Pinnock. Left to James is wide open, fires. He's a long way off on that one.
For those of you that know the name Jonathan James, and you're not sure quite where, Jonathan James had an absolutely enormous dunk in transition for
a lot of
defense. Yeah.
Refs leave it as no call. It's Mike New Jr. who'll put that up, and Reading still lead this 6-2. We're going to time out for Dan Pearson fairly early today.
Yep. Early one. What's that for, Mark? What's he thinking?
I mean, potentially the transition or potentially just the tidiness. I actually, for me, maybe just trying to settle them down a little bit. Can't think it's anything other than he's game planned something early which he's not seeing, and he's expecting to see that. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm just thinking, if you're Oaklands, what do you do against us? And when we've got 3, 4 and 5, if your perimeter guys get too deep to shoot, we've got a lot of that, and Reece goes to the bucket really, really well. I think there's a chance to run against us. So defensive transition, but I would say two things. I think the sort of shot selection, when we've gone inside to Mishak, it looks really good, doesn't it? It looks really balanced and everything else, and the ball goes inside and outside. But I do think that one of the dangers for those teams when you play really deep is you've got to defend in transition as well. So I would think Coach Dan Pearson is just saying, hey, good shot selection. We've just had a miscommunication between Tyler and Sam T. So, the game's only 2 minutes 20 gone, right? So I think just settle into the game. First 2 or 3 offenses look really good. So good shot of Lee Ryan there, who's taken the helm this year in Division 1. And there goes Champions. Oh, nice way to find the post. And foul called
on Jordan Jackson.
Yeah. Hey, Krumesh Patel loved the answer about that. So I'm going to put you on the spot in a minute. You've got time to think. Which coach has surprised you? Which coach has surprised you in the NBL? I'm not going to ask you yet, so you've got some time to think about it.
I already had it, I think. I'd already had my thought on it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's impressive.
This is with Reading on the baseline. Pinnacle have it out of bounds. Small action between Champion and Lufal, and now Lewis will go one-on-one. He's fouled along the baseline and it's out of bounds. A lot of contact before he's forced out of bounds, and that one's missed by the officials. But
there it is.
And that's the replay, and can't quite see his foot there. Maybe it didn't look out, but tough to be to see. Zacharias Pauls doesn't get anything.
Yeah, and
plenty of bodies on the board.
Good to see Rockets on that one, Mark. 2 free sets of hands on that. Sam T nearly come up with that. Just offense sticking a little bit then. Cartano. Mishak. Oh, he's got the baseline. Goes up the opposite side and finishes with the reverse. Good warm round of applause by the Rockets faithful as well.
This is Mike New Jr. Nice backdoor.
And that one just comes out. Cartano rips it off the rim.
Good in transition is Tyler Cartano. Good going coast to coast. Another lot of contact down there. Nothing doing. And referee John Letitia has called a travel and out of bounds, but no contact under the rim. Champion trying to get free. They'll use Pinnock as the pressure release. He'll go early pick and roll with Lufal. Nice roll. Gets a nice position down there, and it's a carry this time. And we are getting the full repertoire in front of us of refereeing calls so far.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how any of that can be carrying.
Junior goes baseline, no one on him, and just lays it in with the right hand from the left side. And Oakland's hanging around this one. Reading lead 8-6. Pinnock again, just flattening the defense, and it'll go through Lufal and Tolawese.
Yeah, there's that perimeter handoff. Gets Champion in the corner.
Loads of contact.
Cartano likes it, and off. Defensive foul. Cartano goes straight up through the body. Tough to defend against. 2 shots to come. People still coming in through the door. I know you like to see that, Mark. I know. I'm going to keep saying
you mentioned it.
Yep, I mentioned it.
Once or twice.
You preferred it when you were at home sick, and you were messaging in the group.
Seeing Tyler Cartano, that's the foul that has sent him to the line. Again, there was a lot of contact on the corner 3 before that wasn't called, and then Cartano on the rebound gets it to go.
Yep, we're into the 60s now, Mark. We're up to 60, and that will only gather pace. I'm going to ask you, Mark, whilst we got a little bit quiet, who else has impressed you as an NBL coach this year, or surprised you, was actually the question by Krumesh?
Yeah, so my answer is James Fear at Barking Abbey, and it's not that he surprises. He surprises me as a coach, because I'm fully aware of his ability as a coach. But he has a very young group that seem to be grinding out some big results against different teams. Yesterday,
definitely great shout.
Thames Valley. So a team that's predominantly made up of first-year academy players is doing a good job. So Yeah, I think that's the surprise for me. Not the ability of coaching, but how he's got them going.
Yeah, and that's the little zone press there by Rocket shown, and Dixon's come into the game. And finds Lufile. This is that small 4 group as he goes to the rim and finishes. And not sure what that means. I think it means that's all right.
4 runs.
And so that's a big deep 3. It comes out. Oh, just misses by Reese. I think it's James in the corner, and that's another one. And that's what happens when you go with the smaller lineup, because Jordan Jackson is on the perimeter in that. And Mike New against Lufile. And Rockets are just spotting up, and Cartano takes an early 3. And interesting to see if Rockets do miss, if they miss that perimeter shooting of both AJ, who's been out for a while, and Jazz Baines. There's certainly a nice look, nice patience as well. Dixon gets a wide open look at one and nearly makes it as well. Really good offense, I think, by Rockets. First by Cartagena looked a little bit early, but inside-outside touch is certainly the name of the game. Jackson going to the lefty, steps back, high arcer, nothing doing there, and Lee Ryan gives that a little round of applause. Coach Ryan, happy to see his big man fighting. In comes KV live for Lufile, who steps out with 6 of Rockets' 12 points.
Worth noting that 22 Tolerakiki's in the game for Oaklands now. Came in just a minute or so ago.
Yeah.
The ex-Surrey and Worcester BBL guy.
Yeah. And good defense. Offensive foul. Dixon takes the charge. A feature of Rockets' defense, I'd say, Mark, that's starting to come. You're seeing Lewis Champion, Reese Pinnock, Ben Dixon, all sacrificing their bodies a lot in the beginning of this season, particularly. You got a great replay of that there. Dixon, very valid. And performance coach mentor, Coach Titmus. Good call, Mark Reed James. We're doing a brilliant job. Yep, I agree with you. Brendan O scrimmage vibes with all these jumpers. Yeah, I think it's players still getting into the game. A lot of inside action as well. We had Mishak touch the ball a lot. Sam T comes in now at the 4.
Bit of an extended 1-2-2 zone here from Oaklands by the looks of things, and they're putting Jordan Jackson with his wingspan at the top of things to just disrupt the reversal, making it very, very hard to reverse the ball.
And that leaves Freddie Hiscock on the block against KV Live. A nice move inside Dixon.
A really, really nice cut from Dixon.
Yeah, and I'm going to see if we can keep an eye on that one, because I've seen Coach Pearson do this before. He's using Dixon sometimes, like you just see there, taking a bit of contact. There he goes. It's very veteran, wily play by Dixon as he gets himself a pair and misses badly on the left-hand side of that one. Wipes his hands.
That old chestnut.
But I would say as well, Mark, when you see... Of course, he makes the second one. Jackson goes out. In comes Caruso. Great surname.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and very close. KV just gets walked past. You're going to mention Tolawezi catching that. Oh, nice pass. Nice pass by Champion. Champion and Pinnock are really starting to find each other in transition. You're starting to see lob pass. A wide open three. That looks like Kane Daly, I think, from here. And there's another rebound. KV steps out of bounds on it. Yeah, I'm just saying that there's some real transition in this team now with Dixon, Champion and Pinnock being able to do a really nice job after a rebound. What a pass. What a pass inside. Yeah, Kane Daly is known as a known scorer as well, so they're going to see quite a bit of zone, I think. Tolawese likes to walk into that one, looks a bit short though, gets another look. Pinnock lines it up. He misses everything, and Champion comes up with a rebound, which is not something we would have said, and this is, I think that's where you can see Oakland just flying at the Rockets defense that don't look ready. They don't look yet as though they're really behind the ball. So we'll keep an eye on that one as the game progresses. Rockets by 7, 2:33 to go. What's your feeling, Mark? What's your feeling on the early on in this one?
Still a bit cagey, isn't it? A little bit cagey. Nobody's really found a bit of rhythm yet. It looks better going inside to Mishak Lufile, who's actually sitting at the minute. And you can see where Oaklands are always going to struggle a little bit with personnel, where I do understand you putting Jordan Jackson at the top of your 1-2-2 zone, and it is disruptive. And coaching-wise, I used to like it as well, having somebody who makes the reversal quite difficult. But as you say, then that leaves a couple of guards on the back end of your zone, and Lewis Champion walks in, get a rebound. Dixon has a nice cut for a foul and layup. So they're going to struggle with that. So I guess for Lee Ryan, it will be, can he keep changing it? Can he keep getting different looks and different kind of throwing different personnel at different stuff on the defensive end to keep disrupting the rhythm of Reading? Because I think you can sort of see if Reading can find a rhythm, I think Oaklands will struggle. The more disruptive Oaklands can be, they'll hang around. Yeah, and I think it's tough because there's a lot of zone in this Oaklands team. I think they're probably just to stem the inside threat of the Rockets, and without certainly without Jazz Baines playing, I think the Rockets are probably about a couple of % down from the perimeter, and maybe that's where Cartano is going to start contributing. This is a slightly bigger lineup as well now, so there's the zone, and that's just flipped up. Tolawese just mans it. And Cartano goes to the lefty, and he'll be happy with that because he's putting weight on that ankle. This is his first game back in anger, as they say. So lots of training, but when you come back from an ankle injury, you want to find that first move as well. And Rockets are showing the zone, and Mike New will quite like that. And that's another foul on Rockets. And it's a 3, just comes out, and it's Kavuvu. Foul called. And I think they're the ones that frustrate, aren't they, for Coach Pearson? They're the frustrations. You're up 10. You had 3 good looks at getting a rebound. You end up with 2 fouls on it and putting yourself on the free throw line. Champion comes out in his second foul, as you see Cartano giving a hand to Oaklands. And Kane Daly with it. He's going to look to produce some offense. This Oaklands team now with a lot more firepower. And he just walks past. And I think that's a frustration when coach brings in KV Live and it's just wide open layup. And that shouldn't be happening, so good bit of film to watch for them. Dixon finds Tolawese. He goes, oh, goodness me, he went right upstairs. And when you see Sam T just grip it with his right hand, anything is about to happen. Yeah, and you can see it there as he goes up to the top deck, and everyone thought that he was going to drop the hammer. I don't know why drop the hammer means slam. You're not a big fan of hammer, are you? No, there's no hammer ever been dropped. That's the point. If you drop a hammer, that's an accident, isn't it? This is the problem commentating with you. It's the point I'm making. Dropping the hammer is an accident. That's not an accident. Who drops a hammer intentionally? Good point. If anything, health and safety should be involved. Now we're talking. Yeah. Now that's a much more interesting conversation for people to dial into. Again, again, Oaklands, then they went back to this 2-3 zone without going at 1-2-2. It's 2-3 a little bit flatter, and again, it's just there's not a lot of size on that back side of that zone to really stay competing. So, be interesting. Will they stay with it? Will they go back to man? Hard to tell at the minute. Rockets doing a good job of finding seams and scoring. What a zip inside from.
That's the second bullet pass that.
It's the new boys.
Toller's thrown 2 bullets inside there as well, hasn't he? Yeah. Absolutely leathered through the defence.
A really good look.
Cartageno's wide open. Cuts here. Coach Pearson. Tolawaysi likes to look at that one. He goes inside, goes through about 4 guys, elevates over 2 of them and puts it in. And then Rockets are in the 1-2-2. They're looking to see, and Pinnock nearly picks it off. And open 3 in the corner is just out. Kavuvu misses another rebound. And I think that's 3 that have gone in and out of his hands.
It's Kane Daly with another one, though, in that mid-range. He's been very good from that range so far.
Yeah. Proper scorer. Yeah, looking at Tolawaysi again. Good kick out. Dixon's got his feet set and strokes the 3. Good offense, inside-outside offense from the Rockets. Down to 8 seconds to go, no fouls to give. 12 points is the lead. And that's going to be an air ball. Just came out of the fingers by Caruso incorrectly there. He'll be frustrated with that. He's left, 0.3. Kavuvu live.
It would not have counted.
Would not have counted. Thanks, Mark, for bringing the fun.
That's what I'm here for, folks.
I would say as well to you, there's 80 of you listening at the moment, and that'll be over 100 soon as Bailey Tustin jumps on with the competition. We have a good view of the teams in the huddle. I'm going to ask you in a second, Mark, what you think it will be that both teams will be talking about. But at half-time, just stay online because Mark is going to be talking to Steph Johnson and one of the leader of the community program here that is quite well known, and Steph's managed that with a number of other of the coaches as well. And Mark's going to have a little word with her about how things are going and hopefully get an interview with one of the youngsters. So we'll be looking to see if we can enjoy that as a young man is looking all good shooting technique. Whoa, good techers.
Sign this kid up.
Good techers, absolutely. Look at that. And how cool is that with the Cristiano Ronaldo top?
I rate that highly.
Yeah.
So close of the half is 26-14 Reading lead, and I think not to kind of toot my own horn here, but I think at the end of the first quarter, Rockets find that rhythm. Oaklands don't disrupt it as much, and all of a sudden the lead's 12.
Yeah, absolutely. And ID 23, if I've said that correctly, it says you lot getting Toller, I think that is, angry with them air balls. Yeah, and Toller's a competitor, right? And has been around a number of the teams. I think we said Surrey, Worcester, coming into. In fact, he's just walking right in front of us, and he's under his breath saying, "Come on, guys! We've got to get down. We've got to get on with it, And he's going to drive this, and he'd be really good for this team. So, any of you that know him certainly know he's bringing an air of competitiveness in. And we see Isaac Round. We'll say young Isaac Round. Isaac Round is in the game. His family down from Northampton as well. And there you go. Good defense from Tolawaysi. Cartano cleans up the rebound. Pinnock inside. Tolawaysi gives one up. So Lou File in now. Nice pass out. Isaac Round. Good save by Mishak.
Isaac Round continues to lead the stats in firing up the quickest shot he possibly can after entering the game, which
absolutely.
I'm a huge fan of, so it's no bother to me.
Yeah, great defence as well. I know. It doesn't bother you in the slightest, does it?
No, in fact, I'd encourage it even more. That time he just, it's cold in here. Doesn't quite get his left shoulder around for that one, but he's bailed out on the other end with some good defence with himself and Pinnock, so turned over.
Yeah, here's that ball screen. And Round didn't shoot that one, Mark, so you'll be disappointed with that. And Cartano just stuffs it at the end of a one-on-one. And I think the danger in these games, isn't it, is that you build a lead and then you don't break the lead. And where teams can hang around and they can make a couple of threes and all of a sudden, like that, just tossed inside, Talas.
Again, Oakland's now back to the man, so changing it again, but Lufar wide open. There's a lot of contact, nothing doing, gets his own rebound, puts it right back in.
Yeah. And transition again is Oakland's. Lufar. But if you watch that back again, Mark, you'll just see Mishak is like jogging back and the guy's outrunning him rather than giving real good comms. You see the offensive, no contact. Reaches, gets his own rebound, great rebound, and then we're down the other end with Toller, who is at good rebound by Pinnock, and he goes at 300 miles an hour. Broken up. Cartano outrunning people in transition.
I think the interesting thing about what you said on with Mishak then on the other end and not getting back defensively is that when you do press, which Reading are doing on almost every out of bounds or made basket, is your eyes are always up the floor. You're always thinking, what can I pick off? And it's easy to have guys run by you. So like you said, the communication is interesting because he needs to. There it is again, right?
There you go.
Because he's looking up the floor at the pressure and thinking, what am I going to pick off from the pressure?
Yeah. As
a guy basically just walks past him. So I do understand it, and that's one that Dan Pearson needs to keep an eye on, as Tolawase gets a really good early post and just spins with the right hand.
Yeah, absolutely. And good coverage. See, we've got the switch now. Yeah. Isaac against Kane Daly. Gets his body in front. Arm on the wrist.
Those to me are always tough ones. I think there is a hand in there. I don't know how much is on his wrist, as you say. Now Tyler Cartano being warned about speaking to the officials, but Isaac there, where I'm thinking it's really tough when Isaac keeps the guy in the midline of his body.
Yeah.
Like he can't be in any better position from a kind of whatever you call it, cylinder or midline of his body point of view.
Yeah.
And I always find that is a tough call on the defensive player when that gets, when you get called for a foul.
Yeah, that's it. And the referee's just called that on the arm as well in the game. So out goes Kane Daly. There's a shot of Jazz Baines and Isaac Rao with the ball, leading the offense. And Cartano goes to Lufar, who gets absolutely hammered under the basket. And I think I'm right in saying that as you're going to see the referee talk in there. That is Mishak's first free throws are about to come.
He's leading all scorers with 8 at the minute, is Mishak Lufar. So he's doing his job on the offensive end, and good to see him now go to the line. Hopefully we'll get some points there. Lewis Champion has 4 assists already, with 2.5 gone in the second quarter. Lewis distributing the ball well.
Yep. A little bit of news as well from JMA, where the under-18 girls play in their National Cup semi-final. They are trailing by 4 at half-time against Ipswich.
Close one.
Yeah.
Jonathan James.
Yeah, against Pinnock, and nothing coming there, and Tolawase comes in and just goes by him. Unsportsmanlike foul as Tolawase dunks it almost by accident. Unsportsmanlike foul, and this is a good one. Terry Harvey, hi everyone, apologies for missing the first quarter. I heard I missed the balloons for Samantha. Terry, you missed a veritable feast of helium and pinkness, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was some basketball as well, Terry. You might have missed in the first quarter, but it's safe to say you've just tuned in to see Sam T doing what he does and has been doing for many a year. I'm not going to say how many seasons, but many a season.
You've just said a feast of helium.
veritable feast, I actually.
That's his sort.
Yeah. Do you not have a feast of helium? Like a flock of birds.
It's not. I wouldn't put them in the same category.
Yeah, oh, okay. And there we go. And you'll see it here now as Sam T. Great replay again, and foul called and given as unsportsmanlike. And this is a topic of conversation from Coach Pearson and myself. Have this quite a bit. He's really surprised at how easily we get given unsportsmanlike fouls. Cartano trying to get himself going. Guess what? Ronnie's in the game. He manages to hook it and miss the basket, but it's an assist.
Ronnie's offensive rebounding ability is similar to Isaac's three-point shooting.
Yeah, that's going
It's going to happen quickly. Gordon Jackson, good follow, doesn't get it to go this time.
Yeah, good to see Ronnie getting some clock, and nice pass inside. Lou File gets his own rebound, goes up through traffic, goes up 3 times, still no foul. Cartano buries the 3 on top of it, and Cartano buries the 3, and there's no foul called. There's no foul called, and you see arms and hands and stuff everywhere. Tough one for Mishak. I think Mishak, do you know what? I think big guys in general do a really good job controlling themselves in these situations, because that's nothing more frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, let's be clear, Mishak is a wonderful pro and a really, really good human to go with it.
Absolutely.
So, it doesn't
a pretty good basketball player as well.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that he's not lost his cool there. But we've always said it in this division. It's very interesting is because it goes through periods where there are some good big bigs.
Yep.
And then there's some down years where there aren't many big bigs. And I think we struggle as a nation to really officiate big bigs properly, because there's a lot of that, like, well, he's big, isn't he? So they should hit him a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm going to add into this as well, and I'm going to defend officials, because I don't think we really see enough skilled bigs from younger ages as well, because a lot of the bigs don't use a lot of footwork and stuff like that, and can, just bundle their way in, and that's certainly how KV was when he was younger, would have just used his physical size. It's difficult to officiate that, so I think it's the coaches, the players and the referees all together. Pinnock and Ronnie Agekwe is up in that zone press, and he's just given it to Cartano. Foul called. He will take the ball sideline, and Coach Lee Ryan, you would have probably heard that through the mic, was frustrated, shall we say.
Yeah, I'm not sure he wanted that pass. It was designed to go another way. But
yeah, and there's the pass to Agekwe, and he's got the screen, goes back. Mishak against Joseph. Mishak just rolls over him and just flips it up. Ronnie gets another one, keeps another one alive, and the new power forward, Dixon Agekwe. And there's that issue, and here comes Ronnie. He nearly tips it in his own basket. Mishak throws it. Comes out new 14, and foul called, blocking foul. I think that's in the landing space of the player. That's what I think on that one.
I'd be interested to see if there is a replay of that, because my thought was that Mishak goes across with the kind of big threatening footwork, like he's going to get up.
Yeah.
He stops, gets out the guy's way.
Yeah.
And then it all looks a bit awkward. So
yeah.
I can't say that one for me is a very tough one. As a view of you and I this evening, we're here.
Yeah, absolutely. In your winter jumper.
Well, it's just a nice jumper.
It is a nice jumper. You're your age, so you need a good jumper, don't you?
Marks and sparks.
Yeah, of course it is. I didn't think anything else. Okay, 85 of you sharing it as you're seeing the Rockets in transition offense. I think Ronnie was going to rip the rim off with that as well. Tough pass there.
Snatched away by
Jordan Jackson's a proper pro as well. Let's see. Rockets get lost a bit there, and Jonathan Jones strokes the 3, and Oaklands are not afraid to shoot the ball. As well, they shouldn't be.
No, they're going to have to do a bit too. I think, you know, otherwise you run the risk of this getting a little bit out of hand before half-time. But it's Cartano down the middle, little shovel inside to a Gekwe who should pass out, does to Lou File, as there's going to be 6 on the shot clock. And Mishak just could bury his way in there.
Yeah, that's annoying, isn't it, when someone does that to you? Jonathan Joseph. And that is Cartano second, as we have the return of Lewis Champion. An important game for Cartano. He's got 9 points in 13 minutes. He'll want to get himself going. He's managed to get 8 shots off in 13 minutes.
Quick hands from Ben Dixon, knocks out from Jonathan Jackson.
Yeah, he shoots another one from the same spot. That one's shorter.
Jonathan James doesn't hit that one. Gekwe clears. Dixon barrels his way down there and it's turned over, and Oaklands will be off and running.
Here comes
again.
Ronnie for the backboard. Oh, good defense as well. Great defense by Rockets in transition, and because that's numbers are totally out. Ronnie's going up. I think we're seeing Ronnie. And Ronnie is starting to get some good clock as well for this senior team in this game. He's just starting to get the minutes, and you can see the training is starting to pay off with him. He's becoming really patient. You can just see now, like, puts the dribble in the right place, plants his feet, looks as though he wants to be aggressive to dunk it. You know, there's good signs for a young player as well. He's really starting to see a bit of maturity in his game as well.
I think what you've seen from him, or certainly I have, because I haven't seen him for a while, obviously, is that in his minutes here, in his 3-4 minutes that he's playing, he's picking his spots so much better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's not going, right, I want every ball, throw it to me, I'm going to post up anybody who's next to me, and I'm going to put my head down, dribble twice, and throw it over the backboard.
Yeah, good
He's
point.
going, right, okay, I'm in transition, it's one dribble, it's to the rim, that's what I need.
Yeah.
And it's looking a lot better. As you say, you can see that understanding is beginning to kick in a bit.
Yeah, and Oakland's escaped that trap, and Mike New inside, and Rockets are smothering that. Mike New's going to get a shot of, I'm pretty sure, soon. What? Stolen. Ronnie gets a hand on that one. Dixon picks it off, nearly gives it up. Ronnie with the transition screen. Goes to Mishak, gets fouled by Mike New Jr. And I would say that running the offense, as you can see here, straight in, where Talas allows it to come in. Mike New just gets himself in the way, but it's very difficult, that one, I think.
You can see Oaklands as well. That touch from Lou File is beginning to bring a lot of attention, so that's why Mike New's actually guarding a cutter, and then decides, you know what, with Lou File on the dribble, I'm gonna go help and go across and help. Excuse me. So I think we're seeing that now, that Oakland's are going to have to key on Lou File a little bit, which should open things up for the perimeter guys that are ready.
Yeah, we need to say from Coach Pearson's family, ABCD Pearson, go Rockets from the Maryland crew. And a very, very, well, I don't know if it's warm where you are, it's freezing where we are, but yeah, lovely to hear you're managing to dial in, and there he is, there's your boy on the screen. Great crowd behind, as you can see, and Rockets with a bit of pressure. And V6 Icy says, go Seth, and as we say it, he drains the two. I think it was a two, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Tyler Wasey likes to walk into that one, and he answers with the three. And he goes for another one from the same spot, and guess what? Boom! 6 points in about 10 seconds for Seth. Reese goes early on that one.
Yeah, a little bit scrappy here from both teams, with the exception of Seth Wiley knocking down corner shots. There's a body down here.
Oh!
Pinnock went upstairs, and now we're going to get a bit of time here, as I think that is Jonathan James on the ground.
Yeah, and that's not just That what you got the shot of Sam T there. That's not just because he's another player. Sam is fully training to be a medic as well in the army. This is probably not as well documented as it could be, but you saw Jonathan James that landed. Oh, it's Toller, I think, isn't it? Toller or Kiki, I think.
No, it's Jonathan James in 18. You were right the first time. I think does he catch an elbow?
Yeah, you're right, Jonathan James. And yeah, you just see him. I think he's landed awkwardly.
Elbow? I don't know.
But anyway, we are
reset the shot clock.
We're going to reset that start again. And yeah, Seth has come in, as you quite rightly said. 2-3 straight away.
Oh, nearly turned over.
Yeah, and Seth comes in again.
Good find.
Dixon nearly breaking that one up. This perimeter defense, and they are. That's Lewis champion, pretends to dunk it. Probably
Lewis hasn't been able to dunk since 2001.
Yeah, and shares a laugh with the referee there, saying, "Yep, you just touched the line." As we said before, Mark, these new Rivermead lines, they also go with the opposition's trim. We change them every game, and the referees are just having a discussion. Half court, so 14 seconds. I think that's 14.
Resume.
Yeah.
They're going to say the possession didn't turn over and they recovered.
Yeah.
So Lewis's wasn't a steal because he went out of bounds.
Yeah.
So it's recycling the ball, isn't it? Pointed out by your dad on the mic.
Was it?
Yeah, that it's the standard time, he said.
Oh, right. And KV and Reese in that, and Mike New looking to get himself going as Dixon, the new power forward, gets himself out of trouble, incredibly.
Great find.
Yeah, and Dixon with a little lefty goes all the way to the rim, and yeah, nice pretty finish. And Coach Pearson is going to be just wanting to tinker with that. It's close to being with the three guards with Dixon, Reese, and Lewis. It's a really dangerous. Oh, that's a foul. That'd be 2 shots to Ben Dixon. Evan Milligan, we love Red Rockets. What does that mean? We love Red Rockets. They're playing in black.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Dixon makes the first one. So, anything else, guys? There's 101 of you now. And if you were the 101st, otherwise known as person to join us, welcome. As Dixon knocks down a pair, and into the game comes young Ashley Kitchen, Northampton's finest.
Pinnock sitting. He's actually played quite a lot of minutes in this first half, Reese Pinnock, because when Lewis got into foul trouble, Reese almost came straight back in after about a minute's rest, and it's been really good again, hasn't he, Reese?
Yeah, and this will be tough for, as you can see, Ashley Kitchen comes in and playing against like proper athletes flying down the floor. Dixon, another little, goes to KB Live, goes on the other side and gets the deuce.
Great.
Dixon did pretty much everything for him then, right?
Yeah, nice no-looker from Dixon as he shoveled it inside.
Mike, I think that's going to, Ash, foul called. That's what happens when you're 17.
To be fair, I understand it. He got his arms across his body because he didn't fancy being run over by Toller Akiki. So he thought, you know what, I'm going to put my arms inside here and not take this one to the chest.
I wonder if Lewis Champion had done that, whether that be called the same. I dare say.
Don't you?
I dare go there.
You've gone there.
I've gone there.
What you're saying is that there perhaps is a margin for inconsistency within refereeing. Is that what you're saying?
According to age, experience and name.
Look, you said it, not me.
I do. I think genuinely, if we did a research project on it, younger guys get fouls cheaper. I think there's something to be said that they need to earn those as well. Nice pace on the offense from Rockets. Goes inside to Sam. Now
Great
they're looking.
car,
Oh,
great
what
car.
a move! What a move by the Rockets. I raised my fist to that one.
That was good. Dixon was posted all the way out on the.
Oh,
on the
champion
opposite
steals
side
one.
three.
Uh-oh. Look out. Sam T. Ashley Kitchen on the run. Sam T. Big throw. Yeah, I thought Dixon was going to shoot that one. KV live goes into the ball screen. Lewis champion. See Dixon goes by with a little oopsie-doo. Dixon showing all the moves. This reminds me of Ben Dixon that played against Thames Valley Cavaliers in lockdown and had 16, and then the next game I think he was out the poor ankle. And can Kitchen get his first rebound? He does. And it's thrown up to him. I think Lewis was. Oh, KV misses that one.
30 seconds to go in this one in the second quarter. It's 54-32. Rockets leading by 22.
I would say as well, for those that are not as familiar with Ash Kitchen, who's getting, certainly getting some time on the D1 team. He's on the wing, and Ash, an EABL and under 18s, is a very, very free-flowing scorer now. Brilliantly coached, actually, I would say, from the Northampton crew. Again, come in with some really good fundamentals. But absolutely, I think he hit about 7 or 8 threes. And is right on cue. We'll make that one for you, Mark. As if I don't know what I'm talking about. And steals it. And can you just have a moment about the commentary matching the play, shall we?
Look, sometimes
it's rare.
You know,
it's rare.
They say a broken clock's right twice a day, so.
Crikey, you are older than I thought with phrases like that. Okay, so Terry Harvey is jumped in, and he's basically saying, yeah, great moves by Dixon. I'm going to ask you, is this a new Ben Dixon, Mark? I know you're going to get yourself ready for an interview, but give us your thoughts on that before we try and get you live with Steph and young community player.
The quick thing for me on Dixon is, I think you and I both have mentioned this, is that he can sometimes be underutilised in that he does a lot of things well, good on the defensive end, but doesn't always light the scoreboard on fire. And I think that means sometimes you don't play him quite as much as you can. Yeah. You can see today.
Yeah. Nice.
If he gets minutes and he gets a groove going, he's a good ball player. Like, you got a bunch of different finishes, makes good decisions. So yeah, like, I think Dixon's one of those where if you let him play more, you'll probably get more out of him. And so far, Dan Pearson has probably given him more average minutes than he saw in the previous season under Alan Keane, and for Dan and the system is working well. I guess now it's time to wrap up from the half. It's 57-32. Rockets leading this one by 25. And while you give the people your last thoughts and you sign off for the halftime, I'm going to go and find Steph Johnson.
Okay.
You might know her.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, a couple of little things that we've talked about as well before Mark goes live with the interview. Some really good names of people getting involved in the club off, and there'll be some big press releases in the next week or so about how the club is moving forward. Had some great young man. Stephen Turner is now an ex-Rockets player, now working in the city, has come back and joined the board of trustees, which does so much good for so many young people. And Mark will be talking to one of them soon as well. So the trustees of the charity are doing just an absolutely stellar job, making sure basketball's always affordable to those guys and girls that want to play. There's bursaries being handed out specifically for some of the academy guys as well, which is just wonderful. GB International, Jade Blackburn, now signing with the women's team, and a local coach doing some great stuff with Bracknell Cobras, particularly on the women's and girls side. So good to see her. She'll be coaching for Bracknell. She'll be and continuing that work, and then playing a bit on the weekend for the Rockets ladies team. It's always good to have Jade after a journey to Sevenoaks and to America, so she'll be joining us as well. And yeah, I just think there's some new coaches joining us as well in January, so there's a lot going on. So from me, there's an awful lot of exciting times happening, and with the score at 32 to Oaklands Wolves, 57 to the relatively free-flowing Rockets, and we've led by Lou, File and Dixon with 13 and 12. Dixon with 12 and a half. Might be his highest scoring half of the season, but certainly looks well within himself as well. And then a really interesting second half to come. Great crowd here at the Mead. We're all getting a little bit warmer, and it will soon be time to hear Mark speaking to Steph Johnson and one of our little mini ballers. So stay checked in with us, and we will be back in just a moment. And it will be with me, my privilege, to throw it over to Mark Hayward as he interviews live Steph from the Rockets Community Programme.
I'm joined by community coach Steph Johnson, the leader of the community programme. Now, Steph, it's been going from strength to strength with the Rockets. How's it been this year?
Yeah, it's been amazing. Obviously, the COVID year could have set us back, but weirdly, we've come out of it bigger, stronger, having time to plan, having time to think about what we want to achieve, having lots of kids who had been really missing being active. As soon as we were allowed to come back, we had waiting lists, we had to have new sessions. So yeah, out of a really tough year, it's going really, really well. We had an aim that in about 3 years' time, we want to see roughly 1,000 community kids a week. We're at about 520, and we're not even through year one. So that kind of shows how it's going.
Yeah. So what else is planned for the rest of the year?
So we've got our SEN programme is back up and running for our children with educational needs. We do a lovely programme where we merge special needs schools with mainstream schools. Hopefully, if COVID doesn't get any more out of hand, that's going to be back on this year. So that's a really, really exciting programme that we've got. We hope to look at opening an 8th hub at some point. So that's in the pipeline as well. We've got a new community coach coming on board because of the workload. So yeah, exciting kind of 6 months to the summer.
I mean, it sounds like it's going great. And we're joined by a really special guest, Ernie, the man I've told you are. Now, Ernie, you tell me, what's your favourite part about basketball?
Lewis.
What about all of it?
Do you like shooting? Do you get to score lots of baskets?
I like doing penalties.
Yeah. And is Steph a good coach?
Yes.
She is? Well, there you have it. That's community lead Steph Johnson doing fabo job for the Reading Rockets. We'll get back over to you, Matt.
Ernie.
Yeah, and what a great interview. And I just could hear the back end of that to say, is Steph a good coach? And the answer to that has to be yes. So thanks, Mark, for being our brave host. They say you never work with, I think it's women on crutches and children, isn't it? Something like that. So, yeah. And guys, we'll be back in about 6 minutes to Live to the Mic. We're just going to grab a drink, and we will see you all very, very soon back here at the Mead. We are? We are. I have, yeah. Free, that is for you, Mark. You owe me £1. Yep. Game on. Yeah.
New foul, champion, Pinnock and Cartano, and that is champion. Dishes off to Tolowazy, who's already hit a straightaway 3 in the first, and now he's hit 1 in the second half.
Yeah, and if he just gets a little bit of rhythm in to walk into it, he does shoot it really well.
One of those ways, yeah, if he gets the natural rhythm of having a bit of movement before he gets there.
Yeah.
And that was Wiley, who's been really good in the first half. He's knocked down 3 shots.
It looked as though that was going as well, didn't it?
Yeah, and it did look like that was going to go again. And champion directing traffic here for the Rockets.
Oh, nice offense, guys. Really
Beautiful.
Nice offense. Coach Pearson will be happy with that. You've got the action between the 4 and the 5, between Sam T and Mishak. They switch it. Oakland switch it to the smaller guy. Oh. The smaller guy gets onto Sam T, and that one he just seals him. Good pass inside and finishes. Tolowazy goes on to 11. Dixon with 12, and Coach T said actually at halftime, Ben Dixon high IQ, and that's absolutely right. Oh, Cartano nearly come up with that one, and that just gets passed straight out of bounds.
So the play broken up by Cartano, as you say, just rushes Oaklands a bit. They throw it away.
Yeah.
Back with the Rockets. Lewis champion in control again, and it's Oaklands in man at the start of the second half.
Yeah, Mark, don't worry, because Terry Harvey's seen the balloons now.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
And it's champion, nice hesitation, goes left, he's fouled and doesn't get the finish to go, but really nice hesitation from Lewis champion going left.
Yep. Great move. Coach Pearson with the great shot, the academy guys there, and he's saying, if you do that, you need to do this, and if you don't do that, you're not going in again. And Isaac said, yeah, don't worry, coach. He said, turn the tap with your left hand, I think he said. A great shot there of the balloons. Oh, and Lewis champions in that one. That one was for Terry. Great. On the baseline camera, we've got Shaq down there, and you can just see crouching down Isaac Round's older brother. I think that's Jacob. Getting more great footage, and Lewis champion looks really solid in today's game as well.
Oh, inside, and
it's wow, Jordan
Jackson with a two-handed throwdown.
Yeah, and Mark Jordan Jackson has been at the Lions first of all, then I think got loaned to Hemel, been in Ireland. Like, he's one heck of an athlete as well. And Cartano likes the look of that. Goes to the step back. Yeah, they're rhythm ones that are going to come as you get your wind playing. Kane Daly runs right into traffic, and Jackson, of course, after you've stuffed it on someone, you're going to take the next jump shot and makes it.
Reading give up. Sorry, go on, Matt.
I was just going to say, certainly one of those is for the highlight play.
Absolutely. Reading giving up 4 quick ones, and it's going to be an offensive foul. There's that. I'm not going to keep talking about it because I do it a lot, where I think it's a handoff and a slip, or a screen and a slip, and it's not going to be as set as we think. But anyway, I've done that one to death. And as you're going to see Jordan Jackson just smash one down over Mishak Lufal.
Quite surprising, I think. Oh.
That was Jonathan James on the early trigger. He's struggled from the floor so far.
Yeah. 2 for 8 so far. Then probably 2 for 9 on that, and 1 for 5 on threes. As Rockets are. Misha goes right back at him.
Hello.
And says, not here. Offensive foul. Good job by Lewis champion.
And then spiked.
Here it is. Here it goes spin baseline. Mishak says, I think you can have a bit of that back, young man. What a competition from these two guys, Mark.
It's great. 2 proper bigs. 2 proper bigs, 2 proper pros.
Yeah.
Great to see.
Lufar goes on to, I think it's 13 or 15, and Jackson is still only on 6 points, 3 for 5. I would say, and Lewis Champion suggests that he himself could have seen a better pass. How about that for commentation?
I actually just thought you were going to say what you said.
No, I don't think we're allowed to.
I don't know. It wasn't past the watershed. Maybe the first word was, but
yeah.
This is Jackson feeling it, and he makes another.
Absolutely.
Get this guy the ball.
Yeah. Well, that's 8. What's that? 7 points in the last minute for him. And I think if I'm Coach Lee Ryan, I would want Jackson to be much more aggressive offensively. I just don't think he's taken enough shots.
I mean, it goes back to some of the discussions we had about Reading early in the season. Is there enough by design for him?
Evan Milligan has just said about Mishak, said the whole team is going to need 1 million more push-ups to be able to hold him. Oh, nice hands.
2-on-1 coming.
Cartano.
Oh, it's blocked by Jonathan James at the rim, and this one is
and that's
full
going
of
up.
plays.
Seth doesn't look as though he's going to miss many.
Wow, this one has really heated up early in the third quarter. As I see Dixon get the tap on the leg to come in from Coach Pearson, so we'll expect that soon. And back to Lufar, who's just a big body and really tough to stop down there. Leak out here from Seth Wiley, and he's had a few so far, and nearly has another. Jonathan James on the follow. He's defended by Pinnock. Kane Daly, who played well early on.
Tyler with the rebound, and then Rockets are in transition with that one. And goes inside, and Tolawese wants this one against Kane Daly. He likes the look of that. And Mishak's going to go up. Great pass. Good little dump pass by Pinnock. And it needs a better word for that. A little shovel pass, maybe.
I like the shovel.
And Seth's going to shoot another one, and Cartano just lets him shoot it.
Pinnock finds Tolawese.
Oh, top deck, top deck. And Tolawese is quietly putting himself into like an 18-point game here. And
Wiley
Seth,
again.
he's
shocking him up.
Yeah, absolutely. And why not? You'd like that, Mark. I know.
Yeah, I mean he's shot well so far as well. Why not?
Yeah. Oh, Mike New against.
And that's
blocked by Lufar. And foul called on the baseline, and I hope we get a view of that one because Mishak Lufar has just taken that
and
somewhat personally.
He's been teched up for shaking his head.
Yeah, and here we go with it, and we've got the super slow-mo as he goes, and VAR.
Oh, God. We'll say from a distance, it's hard to call.
What great replay, look at that.
Solid replay from the stream team.
Great job, streamers. Yeah, and the frustration for that, Mark, is if that isn't a foul, and then the player ends up picking up 2 for something, it's just disappointing, right, all the way around. But good one for officials and coaches and players. Good one for them to have a look at, and a great view of the good few hundred people in here today. Sunday afternoon, no better place to be. Good shot of Lee Ryan.
I think there should be an interesting stat, right, for officials. And this is not a criticism. I just wonder if you statted how many fouls they call compared to each other, whether if you'd find one to be more dominant.
So one looking for one thing. I'll give you a stat that you'll like, and this is the great Ronnie Nunn. And anyone that knows me will know that I don't know a lot about refereeing, but Ronnie Nunn is probably the legendary NBA official. And what would you say, the best referees in the NBA, what's their call rate? What's their call rate?
As in, like, how many fouls do they call per game?
Their percentage of getting them right.
Oh, I mean...
This is the best in the world, analysed over a number of seasons. As a percentage, where's your numbers? Anyone else want to have a go at that one?
38.
38?
Yeah.
the best officials in the world
1 in 3.
get 1 in 3 right.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
They get more than 1 in 3 right?
Yeah, they do.
A lot more than 1 in 3?
Yeah, like I think it's 79% or 80%. So
Fair enough.
for the best officials in the world, they're getting 7, 8 out of 10. They're getting 2 wrong out of every.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 or 8 out of 10.
I mean, you can do the numbers. I know you like your numbers.
Well, somewhat.
But yeah, and it's interesting, isn't it? So, and that's part of what we love about sport. There's Jade updating the socials as we speak. She had a long day yesterday. Came to Ipswich. Isaac Round in the game. Dixon in the game. Little flare screen by Tolawese. Dixon. Pinnock. Goes and nearly hammers one home, but gets called for an extra little step. And there, that extra step on the beginning of that one. And in the under-18 girls semi-final, Rockets trail. Oh, nice jumper. That's a long 2 by Talas. Foul called by Talas. Bit active. Under-18 girls trailing by 18 in the last quarter.
Really opened up that one.
Yeah, 3 points difference at half time, I think it was. Looking for some action here, and good pass by Dixon. And Champion just sneaks, I think they call that, a baseline sneak, and just gets that little lefty layup. He goes up to 6 points personal. Dixon nearly gets a deflection. Good little matchup here. Mike New Jr. Good pass opposite to Daly. He goes up round. Foul called. Quite surprised, if I'm honest. Mike New has only taken 7 shots. I thought he would get a few more off. 4 points personal for him. Led at the moment by Jackson. Jordan Jackson's got 11 personal. He's 1 for 2 from the 3-point line. And Kane Daly, at 18 minutes, 7 points. Goes to 8. He's 2 for 3 from the free throw line.
Mike New's averaging 13 attempts a game, so I presume he's under his season average on attempts.
Yeah. Oh, and Dixon gets... Oh, there is Pinnock at the rim and just comes out of his hand. I think he was not sure whether to dunk it or...
Stuck between layup and dunk.
Oh, here we go. There's another one.
Now.
And that one, he decides to flush it home with the 2 hands. I always worry when people hang on the rim. I'm getting to that age.
I love a hang on the rim, though.
Yeah.
It makes the dunk, doesn't it?
Out of bounds.
Jonathan James suggesting, was I bumped out of bounds? And I think he's probably got a fairly good case for that, as we see Pinnock rising up, flushing 2 hands, and
look at that.
The worrying one-handed hang that had Matt sweating.
There's going to be some good footage of that one, though, isn't there?
Yes. I'll be looking forward to the royalties we'll collect off people using that footage.
Isaac with the ball. Isaac Round is having an absolutely stellar year, EABL. Mishak lines one up and just clips front of the rim and gets back on defense, and
KB.
Isaac steals it and he gets himself going. Nearly found Cartano on the back door.
Tolorakiki misses. Daly on the follow. There's contact and a late whistle from John Letitia.
Good call, though.
It was. It was
That
late.
would annoy me if I was the offensive player there. You get wiped out after you've shot the ball. I wouldn't have been a happy cookie.
Timeout. Lee Ryan and Oakland Wolves as they trail 74 to 47. Now, Matt, obviously quite a difficult spot to be in for Oaklands, right?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
You're down a bundle. What's your quick thinking before you hit me with another topic?
Yeah, I think the thing for Lee Ryan, and he said that I spoke to, I know Lee really well, and he was saying before the game that our MO is we're under 23 Brits as far as we can be all the way through, and it's about getting court time for his academy kids. It's about developing in the right way for the way that their program is. And yes, winning will come, and they've certainly got more competitive. And the roster that they've brought in now is more competitive. I don't think they've shot the ball as well as they would have done outside of a few little rhythm jumpers. But you can see this team with growing as the season develops. So I think he's just going to keep working on stuff. Like, why wouldn't you? I think that's the thing for coaches in this division. You're putting your guys on the floor. You need them to get some clock. You also need them to perform, but you also need to be as stern with them as you need to be to say, we've got to get this done. This is a performance division. So when coaches often ask me, is it about performance or is it about development? Well, it's both. Your players have got to develop, your team's got to develop, and you've got to win. So, good shots of some senior guys there, Reese and Lewis, as Kane knocks down one, and Kane Daly's again, another free-flowing young guard that's dangerous and has had some really big 20-point games in D1 as well. So I think that's what Lee Ryan will be doing, Mark. I think he'll want to look at his offense, and I think he'll look after this game and see if there's a bit of wasted possession or who the guys are that could do a little bit more. Dixon just made that one as well after the whistle.
Fouls on Carney. He's wearing 5. No, it's funny, isn't it, with this Oaklands team, where you look at it and you go, they're probably a couple of different pieces away from being able to compete weekly. Yeah. They've got a big, they've got a lot of guards, so they could do with a couple of bigger wings or a good finish from. Yeah,
a horrible pass from Mishak on that one.
Yep. But you can see, can't you? Like, if they had a Cartano or somebody of mid-size, big wing, it would be different. That'd be a different ball game. Yeah,
and I think that's the thing with Mike New, right? I think I was surprised because I've seen him have such big games. Good job by Isaac attacking the basket. He's going to get himself a pair.
I guess for guys like Mike New as well, like if I said to you, where does he make his shots? Where does he get them? Where does he make them? For me, I'm looking at it like, I don't know, actually.
You don't know in this game, yeah?
In this game, as I'm looking at it, not sure.
And I think as well, it's tough, isn't it, Mark? Because, Coach Pearson knows Mike New, and he would have scouted him. Isaac with a rare miss from the free-throw line. Yeah, he would have absolutely, he would have been scouted, so take away the usual shots for him, and suddenly you find yourself in a whole different game, don't you, when you're playing a team of good quality. It's not as easy to find your offense, and as we say it, good D, and slapped away. Dixon with another rebound, and Mishak was nearly alone on that one. Goes inside to Mike New, into KV Live, big to big, and the guys are up, standing up, and Mishak's just going to pluck that one out of the sky and volleyed out of bounds by KV.
I think as well with Oaklands, if it's me, and I'm merely a fan with a little bit of playing experience, I'd be thinking how much can you put around Jordan Jackson? Like, start building around him. I think we've seen it where he gets a little bit of confidence, pumps up a few shots, makes the majority of them, gets a couple of dunks, blocks.
Interesting.
I think for me, I'm going right. How can I? A bit like I said, how Dan Pearson has certainly grown into that with Mishak Lufar, right? He was going.
Good point, Mark.
Nearly these touches early in the year. Now he's touching the ball almost every time down the floor. That for me would be Jordan Jackson. He needs to get a touch all the time.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and I think there's a bit of personality and character about that. Jackson looks he's very comfortable as like a second and third guy on the team, and sometimes when you're coming into a team like this, and you need to be you need to be able to step into those shoes and be more offensively aggressive. And that's not always the way for guys to be. So I think Jackson's had a few big games this year. When I saw Oaklands had picked him up, I thought, that's a really good move for them.
Yeah.
And that is slapped away from Dixon.
We've got a minute left here. Rockets lead 79-51.
Yeah, and pretty good spread of scorers for Rockets.
Yep.
Cartano will be, nearly a great little pass inside. And Dixon, he's just got the touch, hasn't he?
He really has.
And there is Mike New, and there you go. And that to me, Mark, is probably what we were talking about before. That straight on three looks as though it's going to go in all the time. Oh, it's just an.
As Mishak just bulldozes his way down there. A lot of contact.
And one as well, Mark, and one as well. And he's done really well to stay with that, hasn't he? He's going to go for his 20th point on the line.
Yeah, he's had a lot, been a tough old afternoon for Mishak. He's playing very well, but a lot of bodies thrown at him, a lot of contact on every catch.
Yeah.
Anything around the rim, he's got two guys trying to go for it. So he's played very well. And I think, Matt, as we get into the fourth quarter, you and I should have a little look at our list of topics, see if we can get into them starting at the end of this quarter. Let's look at what we've got.
Yeah.
It's been quite a busy sort of couple of weeks in the world of basketball, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think as we see, Lufar goes to 20 personal. And I think there's so much happening in the club, and there's lots of discussions about BBL and when is it there, and we're talking. I think first thing I'd like to throw at you is I bet 777 now with the 45% stake that they've taken in the BBL. And I'm going to ask you a quirky question on that one, Mark, as we're going to see 2 free throws. How does the BBL being taken over affect teams in Division 1 or Basketball England or the game in general? Like, you have been a London Lions fanboy since
for
lockdown.
At least 4 months.
But you have been. We were talking about it a long time, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the conversations we had about it. How has London Lions being in Europe helped the game, and therefore how has a takeover from Bet77? Will that help Division 1? Will it help? Is it going to add to stuff from a purely sort of business perspective? As Dixon gives it to Lou File for 3, and he just misses it as well. Look good. He's a cheeky smile on his face, thinking, "What am I allowed to do out here?" But what's your answer to that? We've got a couple of minutes now. Just throw that one up there, and then Bet777 released 45% takeover bid. What's your feelings on that? You're more in the business world than I am.
Yeah, I mean, firstly, I should say, I don't know what the economics of it are. I don't know what a 45% stake looks like. So I'll say I'm already naive to that because I don't know what that does in terms of monetary value. Plus, it's one of those where until you get into the details of the deal, I think it could mean something and nothing, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Because if we're saying, well, the 45% stake or buying that means that they're owning 45% of the kind of business, and they've got 100 grand to put in per year to give to clubs, to give to something else, then now we're talking, right?
Yeah.
So I think that probably needs to come out in the wash. And like you said, does that flow down then, right? Back in the very early days of BBL, when it had a little bit more of the kind of higher profile, I'd say like logo brand sponsorship with it. Clubs were getting a lot of money from the league.
Yeah, Carlsberg, Budweiser League, Dairy Dunkers League.
Doesn't exist like that anymore, and the money's not flowing down. So it'd be great if 777 are taking their 45% stake, and a part of the deal they're saying, oh yeah, and as part of the deal we pledge to commit another 150k a year to the clubs. Great. Yep. I think their involvement is interesting, because the way they've backed London Lions into Europe, again, for me, I think it's brilliant. And I know, I've got my own opinions of the playing side of things, and that's not what we're talking about. But you and I thought the same thing. Is with them in Europe now, you can't help but think Leicester are probably there going, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Why are we not in Europe?
Yeah, great point.
And Newcastle looking at it going, hold on a second. Why are we not in Europe? You know, we're you know, what Newcastle
one up, yeah.
Newcastle beats London Lions what over the weekend?
Yeah.
And they're going,
great game.
Okay,
On
so
Friday.
let's you know, Ramon Fletcher goes absolutely bonkers for about 27 assists or something.
Yeah, 17 assists, I think.
Yeah, 17 assists and 20 odd points. So yeah, but that's my point is I think that will raise the level because naturally, why wouldn't we be aspiring to it? As straight from that, Oliver Wright in the game touches it and he's banged a 3.
Yeah, and in come Ronnie Agekwe in his minutes and Ash Kitchen. Oh. And they've suddenly found that's off Tolowazi's.
Yes, it was off his foot.
Yep.
So yeah, my wrap-up is I think it will organically raise the level. Regardless of money or not, people will want to be in Europe and playing in Europe, and
yeah,
I think we'll see more teams go for it.
Tolowazi frustrated at just missing probably the easiest one he's had all night, I guess. And he said, "Yeah,
he didn't dunk
sorry, Lewis.
You got to dunk it."
Yeah, absolutely.
Simple answer.
Yeah.
The old highest percentage shot in basketball thing.
Jordan Santiago's is dimer number 5. And is he talking about Oaklands or is he talking about Cartano? You have to clear that up for us, Jordan. Jordan,
where is Jordan Santiago?
I don't know, but he blessed this team last year.
Yeah, let us know where you're at.
Yeah.
We could, miss you on these shores if you're not here anymore.
Yeah.
The guy can play some hoops.
Yeah, and you just saw the crowd getting thrown out some sweets in the background. And it's another 3. And Kitchen gets a rebound. Good to see Ronnie and Ash getting some well-deserved clock.
Yep, so that's...
nice look. Yeah, good look inside by Tolowazi. Nice offense as well. Well read by Ash. And I think... you can hear in the background, I think that's one of the mini ballers, or might be micro ballers. We have micro ballers as well now, Mark.
I love it.
You see Bailey making sure everyone's got their fair amount of share of sugar.
We always say it, the Sunday night sugar toss is probably the best thing that we watch from over here. I love it because my kids are on the other side with us,
exactly.
so they don't
kept
get
them
it.
Safe.
Yeah, whereas the other kids are going to be bounced off the walls till 10. Good luck, parents.
Good switch back out there by Rockets. That looks a little bit snap. Ronnie cleans that rebound.
Do you think we'll see Isaac around in this 4th again, or will it be a case of I know he's played a lot of minutes with a lot of different teams at the minute, so could be Dan
I
Pearson.
think it will. Tolowazi is going right at Jordan Jackson as well. And 2 shots to come. I can see Tolowazi going for his 20th and 21st point if he makes them.
Yeah, definitely a great spread here of point scoring from the Rockets. As you say, that's Lou Farr with 20, Tolowazi 19, Dixon 14, Cartano 11. If you're getting 4 guys in double figures like that, it's going to be tough for other teams to stick with.
But also, like Tolowazi, 6 for 7 from the field, 4 for 4 from 2, 2 for 3 from 3, 6 for 7, 5 for 7 from the free throw line. Just the efficiency. And now I think Coach Pearson has done a really nice job getting Sam T in where he wants to be. Oh, Ronnie took one right in the face. Cool. Tough call for Ronnie. They got one right in the face.
Lewis champion on 9 assists at the minute.
Yeah, wow.
Potentially flirting with a bit of a double-double if he can couple more points in. It's Pinnock, Tolawase, a Getway champion, and Kitchen in for the Rockets, and that's Ronnie and
blocked
Getway
by
down the
Jordan
middle.
Jackson.
And Jordan Jackson says, not now.
Yeah.
Skip to Wiley. This is Jonathan
Rejected.
James.
And is that, oh, that's a great pass. Ronnie Getway with the slow motion end of break finish. Good to see Ronnie getting that one. Deserve that. It's a deep three. Tolawase snatches another rebound. Transition. Reese goes under it, just comes out. Into 7 minutes to go. Tolawase finds Pinnock. Oh, Kitchen, what a pass! What a pass! Ash fumbled it, flicked it behind him.
Give him that assist.
Yeah, give him an assist. Absolutely right.
There's Jonathan James, a Kiki in the corner.
Yeah.
Pinnock on the drive, just flattens the defense out a little bit. He'll try and find Champion. His running
Kiki
mate
goes
does.
to 8.
There's Pinnock and Champion.
Yeah.
He'll go left. Needs a couple more for his potential double-double.
Yeah, and I think Tolawase nearly stopped that one as well, as Ash just gets his hands on that one, and Tolawase controls it. Nice inside footwork. Ash playing with Ronnie, coming out. That's going up, I can tell you that for nothing. Oh, good rebound by Ronnie. Yep.
I like that from Ash.
Yep.
Ash Kitchen just pulling the trigger. Nice in-rhythm three.
Yeah.
I guess as we're nearing, about 5 minutes to go in this fourth quarter, love to hear from anybody on the stream about who they think might be their player of the game, who's been the guy for you who's paced probably the winning side Reading, or, if you've got a shout on Oaklands, please give us that too. Also, we always like to know who you think is the impact player of the game. This is the one where might not be all the stats, might not show up on the stat sheet, but who's been the kind of game changer, who's been a guy that's helped kind of kick-start the offense or kick-start the defense. Let us know on the stream. Let's get a few more comments going. Good community, as always, in British hoops, so let's get some comments, let's have some conversation. This is a Round who misses that one.
And he's come straight off the bench.
And that's Cartano inside.
Yeah.
Round doing his usual. He's off the bench, touches it, it goes up.
I think he's, and Isaac's family, as we said, in the building today. And then Mike New, and again, another one.
See, but now you see with that sort of thing, Mike New hits a couple of long threes. Of course, first half they might be missed shots, and that happens. But when you think, if you've got a Mike New on the perimeter and you've got a Jordan Jackson inside, there's enough there. There's enough there to keep going.
Yeah.
Cartano battles with the left and gets it to go.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike New taking 8 shots, 10 points. Solid offensive production. And there's going to be another one going up, I wager. Told you.
KB clears.
Yeah. And Rockets are, KV from a very long way away for him. And
that might be the one that you feel like you're missing out.
Well, yeah, I think as well, you've got to know who you're playing with, right? And you've got good defense by KV actually on that. Goes to snuff that one out as well. Jackson, though, he's got the 3 on the side. And here's transition with Dixon in that little drag screen. Cartano likes that one, doesn't he? KV forces it to get another one. And there's young Jade and KV in the foreground. Academy guys working really hard. Jade from Bath University. Good pass. It's
that
a
a foul or
really
3
nice
seconds?
pass by KV on that. And I think the comment that you made, Mark, earlier on, I think the comment you made earlier on about there's definitely a focus to this Rockets team now with Mishak. I think you're spot on with it, and you could just see then KV in the previous possession pumps up a 3 and gets nothing, and then the next possession it's dropped down as Mishak likes a little one, and KV stays alive with it. Nice soft hands, drops it in as Rockets move on to 97, and they lead by 31 with 4 minutes to go.
We don't have any of those like NBA budget style get to 100 and everyone gets a slice of pizza type offers.
Hot dogs, yeah?
Yeah, corn dogs.
Yeah.
Isaac
Brown
inside.
goes to the basket, blocked.
Bullet across to Jonathan James, and it's Isaac Round with the hand in there, and it's called again on
Yeah.
that side. Getting his stats up.
Yeah. Yeah, and 90 of you have joined us. There must be 300 people in the Mead as well. Good eyes on this game, Mark. Really good eyes.
Yeah, and I do appreciate it. You know, it's not always, a 1-8 team playing a top 5 team is not always the one that draws people in. So if you're re-watching this and you've been in the Mead, certainly a big thank you to you for getting down here on a cold, early December evening. So that was very good of you, and
yeah,
nearly 100 of you joining us on the stream. As I say, it's not, a 1-8 team is not always the biggest pool, even though Oaklands have got plenty of weapons. So I appreciate you guys for sticking around as well.
Yeah,
I'm certainly thankful to have you here after having a few weeks off.
Yeah, good to have you back, Mark. And as we just catch up on a few of those things, Jordan Jackson's fouled out. And he's finished on 13 points, 4 for 9, 3 for 6 from 2, 1 for 3 from 3, 4 for 5 from the free throw line with 4 rebounds. And Kane Daly also, he won't be coming back into the game as he fouls out, and he has 10 personal as well. And leading right now for Rockets, Tolawezi with 22. Lufar with 20, Cartano with 15, Dixon with a really nice 14. And
Freddie Hiscock.
Yep. Comes
into
in,
the game.
Knocks down a 3. And Isaac Round just gives it, Mike Newell. We nearly had a visitor then, didn't we?
All I saw was thousands of pounds of equipment about to be run over by Mike New Jr.
Yeah. And here he comes.
And here he comes straight toward. Whoa, look at that shot. Oh, boy. Good catch, stream teamers. Good catch.
No way. No way. Oh, Dixon, if he'd made that.
What, the running foul line floater?
Yeah. Cartano just jumps in and pops it in. As Rockets move on to 99, and everyone's going to get a hot dog if they... courtesy of Mark Halewood.
I do like a hot dog, so
yeah,
it's not a bad one for me.
Yeah. And Hiscock gets a rebound. Another 3 coming up. And this is the time, isn't it, when you're in and you're 2.5 minutes, you're going to get your numbers up.
Yeah, I mean, why not? That's a travel, but not called. Cartano inside with the left foul.
And there is the 101 hot dogs and pizza for everybody. No? No.
Unfortunately, if you are a local business supplier of hot dogs and would like to sponsor the 100 hot dog challenge or whatever we're going to call it, reach out.
I mean, Terry Harvey's jumped in and says, quite fancy a pizza if you're buying, Matt. I think you need Mark there. And then certainly the team deserves one for each team member and perhaps an extra topping for every point over 100. I've not heard that.
Every 10 points over 100. So at the minute, you're on a margarita.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got you right.
We need 110 for a pepperoni.
That looked like backcourt to me, but... Hiscock, he's come out firing. Ash Kitchen. Reverses it to Ronnie. Cartano getting valuable minutes by Ash. As I told you, Mark, has not seen a shot that he doesn't like and is a very, very efficient shooter as well.
Brilliant stuff. Great find from Isaac Round. Skipped it.
I'll share a story about I was privileged enough to coach the under-18s weekend ago. We've got a shootout here. Mike New now coming to play. I was privileged enough to coach the under-18s, and I said to Ash, Ronnie with the flush! And I said to Ash, we need to really go inside now, Ash. You know, we've got a good chance here. He can then went out and made 3 threes in a row.
That is the type of story I like.
So, yeah, and here goes Ronnie with the replay. The Ronnie replay. The Ronnie play. Can you do that?
No.
The Ron play. Ogek replay. No.
Put Seth back in. Seth Wiley, yeah, he's been playing very well, but he says he will score 40 before the end. Listen, if he's going to do that, get him back in.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I want him
in 90 seconds.
I want him in.
There's those of you that are seeing, nice finish by Isaac, nice soft touch as well by linked up with the Academy boys.
109.
Yeah.
We're venturing on pepperoni time.
Oh, nice looking
nice.
jumper.
That's Carney with that one.
Yeah. Into the last 60 seconds. And for reference point as well, Ash is about 6'6", 6'7". So do they call that the modern day player? Who basically...
If you say anything about positionless basketball, we're going to have a long discussion.
There he is again, and he drops another one in. And the guys are off the bench. And Seth's going to answer that one. Oh, Tyler gets it. It's out. Oh, and Isaac was thinking dunk. So that's Ash Kitchen with his third 3, I believe. He's very quickly got himself into double figures. Isaac Round. Yeah, just missed that one. Mike New with the veteran post play. I'm not sure that's quite what Coach Lee Ryan's after. And Rockets are just going to pass this one out as Cartano just gives it away.
Cartano's going to pass it to the other team.
Yeah.
That one will do it, though, as Ash will get this into the front court. That'll be game over. As the Mead are about to be on their feet for this one. 112 plays 76.
Yeah.
The Reading Rockets race away with this one big. 3 players scoring 20 plus for the Rockets. It's Toloazy on 22, Lufal on 20, Cartano on 20 as well.
And Kitchen on 10, right?
And Ash has chipped in with a cheeky 10 at the end of the game.
And Dixon, I would say, for really, really solid performance from him and really did what the game needed in the first half. So, yeah, some really good performances out there, Mark. And I think from Oakland's Wolves' perspective, they'll be a little bit disappointed in how the game probably got away from them a little bit early, and the adjustments at halftime. I think they had a bit of foul trouble, didn't they, with Joseph and Jordan Jackson, that probably would have given them a little bit more firepower, and Mike New got going a little bit too late, I think. But there's certainly some talent on that roster, and a lot of work for Lee Ryan to be doing, but some really willing athletes in there, and I'm sure the Oaklands Academy will be very proud of this young under-23 British group that they're put together. And on the Rockets side, I think without AJ Bassi, without Jazz Baines, with Cartano coming back in for his first competitive game, with lots of minutes spread out from people, with a little flavour of new offence to come, I think, with the 4-to-5 actions that we saw with Toloazy and Lufal. So, yeah, professional job, I would say, by the Rockets today, Mark.
As I go and track down a player or a coach or both, think about this. You need to go through impact player of the game and player of the game. In my choice for an impact player, I'm going to throw it out there for your discussion, would be Ben Dixon first half. Really got him going and to really open the game up.
Yeah.
I'll let you discuss that with yourself. So I'll be back when I track some players down.
Yeah, no problem. And we're going to see, as you're seeing the highlights as well, as we flow through those at the end of the game. And great feel in Rivermead today. Cartagena there with the 100th point, I think that one was. But a real great feel, good environment, lots of young kids in here. And you see Mike Nude draining that three. We'll see a lot of that this season as well. And yeah, in terms of impact player of the game, then Ben Dixon really did make so many things happen today with defense, breaking plays up, not just with his scoring as well, but just the timing and the types of shot he took. He was really within himself. So certainly with that, and I think you can argue between Sam T and Lou File and just the way that the let's call them the bigs, but Sam T really is a small four. The way that the game was put together was really, really impressive. And we would certainly say that those two guys would be in the running for impact player of the game. So we'll round up as Mark is finding some of the players to just have a quick talk with. And we say thank you to everyone for being with us as well. And we've got young Ashley Kitchen is going to be joining Mark live from courtside as he's come off his 10-point game. And here is Mark on courtside with Ashley Kitchen.
Joined by Ash Kitchen. Ash, great second half for you. Good to get some minutes and get some points under your belt.
Yeah, felt good to get out there. I haven't been out there much. But yeah, just felt like we flowed really good as a team. Felt like the offenses were working. I hit my shots, so yeah, felt good.
So how do you think some of the work in the academy is kind of transitioning for you into men's games? Like you said, tonight, a bit of a blowout win, so you get a few more minutes, but is the academy work helping when you get into the men's games?
Yeah, so it's kind of like all the offenses and defenses are kind of like flowing all into, so they're all the same. So it kind of means that stepping into this team isn't as difficult. Obviously, it's just really good to experience training with these guys, whether I step on or not. But it's just really good training. And
for you personally, any goals before the end of the season, more minutes, maybe things like that?
Yeah, definitely. Just to kind of, become more of a key couple minutes a game player in this team. Try, bring them some consistency. If I can hit a shot or two a game, see what I can do.
Well, he certainly hit plenty of shots tonight. That was Ash Kitchen. Thanks for joining us. Matt, back to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you very much, Mark. Great to hear from young Ash as he's nearing the end of his second year at JMA in the academy. So big thanks to them and all the support that they give these young players. And it just remains for me to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to the stream team as well. And for Coach Pearson, we're going to hope to get a quick word with Coach Pearson before the end of our stream. So just stay with us for 2 more moments as we get a live courtside post-game with Coach Dan Pearson and Mark Hailwood.
Joined by Dan Pearson. Dan, big blowout win this evening against a struggling Oaklands team. What do you take from tonight?
Yeah, I mean, throughout the game, we knew that we were going to be working on some new stuff, which was good. I mean, it's an opportunity for us to get film on some actions that we want. There's some moments of failure, which is actually exactly what you want out of these games, so they can be corrective. And so, we were probably trying to force a round peg into a square hole or at different stages with that. In terms of just us trying to get different defensive matchups and looks in, that might not have fit the lineups, but it was really good for us to do that. It was really good for us to see the academy guys out there playing and get those reps because, I mean, as much as anything else, getting the young guys to have everything slow down for them is as important as anything else. As you start moving down your bench and you want guys to be able to step in and be effective, that's just a matter of getting game reps and everything slowing. So.
And just a bit of a comment on Oaklands. We said on the stream, they're a couple of pieces away from really competing. A couple of guys, Jordan Jackson on the team, who are very strong. What did you think of Oaklands?
Yeah, I mean, I think your point is right that there's a few pieces. I mean, and obviously when you're an academy-heavy team, you're just dealing with the speed and physicality that is. It's different than if you have a 27-year-old on the court. And so how you manage that is always going to be a challenge, and having guys like Jordan Jackson who can come in and take some pressure off of people so you don't have to double someone like Mishak immediately when you get the catch, which I assume if you didn't, you would have to put so much focus on that, which would be a terrible thing to have to game plan around. So, yeah, I mean, that's a heck of a hurdle to always put through, but for the young guys with them, that's a ton of growing that they get to experience every night. So obviously, yeah, Jordan Jackson does nice stuff for them. New junior, got some shots going. Probably shouldn't triangle in two and leave a guy like him not as one of the twos. But yeah, he shot well tonight, and those guys are good for him. So
that was Dan Pearson after Reading put up 112 this evening. Matt, back to you.
perfect.
And 6:52 is going to be the time where we draw a close to this Reading Rockets against Oaklands Wolves Division 1 men's game. And as you see in the background when you're listening to Mark, talking to Coach Dan Pearson, and many words of wisdom there about the importance of this game and the importance of the preparation, and now moving into this Christmas period, it remains to be said we are back here on the 19th of December for the final game of the year. So make sure that you get that one in your diaries. If you can't join us in person, then join us on the stream. Thank you to Ralston and the entire team behind the scenes as we talk about every week. So we thank you for that. Have a great evening, and we'll see you all on the other side. Thank you from Rivermead and the Rockets.